Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we are taking a quick break from Kerbal R&D program to get ourselves a little bit of science because we need to do some research to continue our R&D. I really think that having that engine will be a pretty handy thing to do. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a satellite. Now this is going to be primarily a standard ComSat, which is this guy. However, we are going to do a heavy lifter variant of it, because this thing is, in fact, going to a more remote location. Let's see, this is a remote guidance unit on here already. Let's go ahead and take off this here, and we are going to put in a quick container module, so we want payload for that. Service bay? That's too big of a service bay. This service bay. There we go. Now, inside of that, we are going to be putting this reverse gravioli detector, as well as this thermometer. I'm not going to be sending a Science Junior. I don't think that's necessary. Seismic accelerometer has to be on the surface, I believe. Yep. This has to be in an atmosphere, I believe. We can bring one anyway, though. It's a little on the big side. I'm actually not going to. Let's see here. We want to bring a mystery goo containment unit, for sure. A barometer, for sure. And then anything else? What else do we want to bring in this thing? I mean, I guess we can bring a spectrovariometer. Place that like here, and then move this to be like here. Just use the move tool here, place it. That'll do. Okay, and then we'll place this right here. We may have to redo this fairing. Yes, indeed we will. So let's build a new fairing. We'll go something along the lines of this. Should be perfectly fine. Although, I do want to maybe close the fairing a little bit faster, like that. Okay, now let's make this a heavy lifter. Easy enough to do. We'll just put a radial decoupler in both locations here. Just bicouple that. Oh my, the recording got a little laggy there. It's exciting. I think it's recovered. So let's go ahead and do some Jumbo 64s. Gonna place one here, duplicate it, one here, and then I think I'm going to move the decoupler up a little bit to be about there, and then place the Jumbo 64s there. And then we're going to use main sails out here as well. And I do think I'm going to use the move tool, and I'm going to just bump this up a little bit. Like that. They're not quite even, but I actually want them to be not quite even. And then we'll do a fuel tank flowing, or rather a fuel line flowing from the outside in. Some quick aerodynamics up here with a protective rocket cone. Fantastic. And then we'll just strut them in. At the top and the bottom. And that should work just fine. Excellent. Now let's get out of the VAB and hope that the recording stabilizes once we leave it. Because it was getting pretty laggy there for some reason. The game itself isn't laggy, just the recording. I don't know why that is. But anyway, we are going to Eve. I'm going to go ahead and run an atmosphere analysis here because we can rerun that, right? Cannot run experiment while stowed. Okay, we'll get that another time. So let's just... I didn't check my staging. Oh boy. I'm going to revert that back to the VAB. Maybe reloading it will get the... Nope. Okay. Well, I'm just going to try to do this as quickly as I can. So first things first, we want to do this after. We fire all 3 engines, detach our side boosters, detach our main core, and go to our second stage, and detach our fairing. I'll do that manually. And then we want to detach our second stage and have our maneuvering stage. That looks fine. Okay, let's go ahead and launch this. We are, of course, going to Eve, and we might swing by Gilly, too. We would only do the repeatable ones by Gilly. We wouldn't do the repeatable ones by Eve. Anyway, let's go. So since we've got a fairing, I'm going to be starting our gravity turn relatively early here. And I think we should be completely fine to do that. So I'm going to begin pitching over a little bit right now. I don't want to pitch over too much just yet because we are entering max Q currently. There we go. Start pitching a little bit downrange. But we are losing control. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. We'll let it tumble. This is completely recoverable. I really do need to stop doing this, though. Okay. There we go. Let's go ahead and flatten out. This'll do for now. We're just going to stay here and stabilize until the side boosters are gone. There we go. And our apoapsis is plenty high, so I'm going straight for the horizon at this point. I'm also going to be getting rid of the fairing right about now. And realistically, I hit the wrong button. Okay, well. That's a lost mission. I meant to hit M, and I hit the spacebar. Rip me. Well, I'm okay with that. I'm going to revert this, but I am going to deduct the cost. I just don't want to take the time to crash it. So this thing costed 106K. So I'm just going to go ahead and deduct that out. 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. So a little bit more. And we'll relaunch this, hopefully this time without the patented backflip. I'll just wait a little longer to do the gravity turn this time. But ultimately that was 100% recoverable, and it was the only problem there was I hit the wrong button. Entirely my fault. Let's go. It's been a very long time since I've done that. Accidentally staging the wrong thing. So yeah, I'm going to wait this time until we have an apoapsis of around 30 kilometers before I go ahead and start the gravity turn. I was expecting, since we're fairinged up, that our aerodynamics would be fine for it, but apparently not. Okay, apoapsis is at 10 kilometers. Make that 20 kilometers. And now 30 kilometers. And now I will begin pitching downrange. We do have enough authority here to stop the aerodynamic forces. So that's good. I'm going to head straight for the horizon at this point. We're going to be ditching our side stages soon. So I'm just going to hold here for the time being. Side stages are gone. At 100 kilometers, I'm going to cut the throttle. I'm also going to deploy this fairing at 50 kilometers above the surface, which is now. And then I'm going to go a little bit over 100 since we're still in the atmosphere, so like 102 or so. Something like that. And then we'll cut that throttle, and we'll just create a maneuver here to circularize. Easy enough. Maybe a little bit more circular than that. Okay, that'll have to do. Now, before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and extend our solar panels, because I don't want to have to lose another one of these. That would be obnoxious. This is going to be a 43-second burn, but this tank is going to handle it, so that's fine. We're going to want to burn this then at T-minus 21½ seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and actually, I'm going to physics warp for right now until we get to our location, which we're basically there. Now we're there. Okay, T-minus 21½ seconds. Close enough. And off we go with way too much delta V. I do like having way too much delta V. That's always nice. Well, this burn will be finishing up momentarily. And then all we have to do pretty much is escape Kerbin's gravity. Like, I'm just going to do the whatever inclination change is necessary to go to Eve. I'm going to do that after we escape Kerbin's gravity. So at this point, the question is, do we want to get a gravity assist? Like, slingshot around the moon here? That might not be an awful idea if we can pull it off. Let's see how this works. So moon, what do we got going on here? Can we maybe slingshot around you a little bit? I'd like it if we could. Oh, come on. There we go. Then we could prograde that. Maybe a little bit of radial to get that slingshot in there. I mean, that's not super ideal. That would encounter us with the moon again a second time. I don't really want to do a second slingshot, so let's consider maybe just not doing a slingshot at all and just burning out like this. I mean, it's going to be basically the same amount of delta V anyway, so let's just do that. Go to the maneuver node. I'm going to physics warp the turn because it's going to take forever. In fact, I may as well just put a cut in here, and next episode, when we get to position, come back. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a cut in here. Next episode, we are taking this thing to Eve to get some science points. And then after that, we're going to go back to Kerbal R&D program. Subscribe for more, and I will see you all next time.